Welcome to a Monday episode of the Free Three. We only have baseball on today, but that doesn't mean that we still can't find winners. I've got a few games today that I like, a few parlays for you guys. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we just try to get to the bag together and make some money. Now, over the weekend, it was an all right weekend for us. On Friday, it was really bad, okay? 0 for 3 on Friday, another reverse sweep day. Not what we were wanting after we picked up some momentum with a few winning days in a row. We lost it on the Knicks spread. They ended up losing yesterday outright, so you hate to see that. Great season for them. Injuries were just too much to overcome there in that series. We lost on the Cardinals, Red Sox first five under on Friday as well, as both of those pitchers decided to give up a ton of runs. Braves on the run line lost outright on Friday. So 0-3 on Friday. On Saturday, we went 1-1. Our parlay of the day hit between the Royals and the Cubs. You love to see that. But we also lost on the Mavs, -3.5. Obviously, you would have had many opportunities to grab the Mavs live on the money line, get them a much better number, and that's what I was able to do. But because I gave out Mavs 3.5 before the game, they only wanted to give out 1 or 2. We ended up losing on that bet there officially, but there was a few chances that you could have hedged that one and been able to make some money on that one. So 1-1 on Saturday, not the best of weekends. You can see our year-to-date record right here. We're now at 500 for the month of May, which is not what we wanted after that incredible start that we had, but it's okay. We've got about a few more days here, 10, 11 more days to rack up a few more winners, and then hopefully with the new round of basketball series with us in the Western and Eastern Conference Finals, we can turn the ship around there in the NBA, because it's definitely been a very, very cold May for us in the NBA. But that's okay. I do appreciate all the love and support that you guys are showing. Now let's dive into these best bets for today. If you can, smash that subscribe button and like the channel as always, as we continue to put out winners every single day here on the channel. For this May 20th card, my first best bet of the day, we're going to go to the Brewers and Marlins matchup. And in this game, we've got two pitchers that I'm not really the biggest fan of. So because of that, I'm going to look at taking the over 8 runs here, -115 odds on DraftKings. Now, your book might have it at 8.5. I'm not opposed to that, but I would look for the 8 because a lot of books do have it at 8, and you should be able to get that. On the mound for the Marlins is Ryan Weathers. On the year, he's 2-4 with a 3.81 ERA, which is not too bad. But coming off a strong start where he went 8 innings, he only gave up 3 hits with no runs. That's probably why we're getting the value here on the total that we see here instead of getting at 8.5 or 9. But if you look at some of his other starts before that last start that he went and had an incredible performance against the Tigers in, it wasn't as strong as that start. In his last start against the Dodgers before that, 6 innings, 3 runs given up. His start before that against Oakland, 3 runs given up over 6 innings. And then if we keep looking at some of the other starts against the Washington Nationals, 6 runs given up, and against the Braves, 3 runs given up. So literally besides the last game that he had that 8-inning shutout, he's gone 5 straight starts where he's given up at least 2 earned runs or more. We've also seen him struggle with the home run ball as well, giving up at least a home run in each of those 5 starts, and that's just not something that I can really get behind, especially when you look at a Milwaukee Brewers team that's crushing right-handed pitching right now. They're actually 3rd in the major leagues in most runs scored per game. They're averaging over 5 runs scored in a game. That's pretty incredible to think about. The only teams that have scored more runs this year than the Brewers are the Phillies and the Dodgers. So you can kind of see the lineups that those guys have, and now you're talking about the Brewers are going to have an opportunity here against a Ryan Weathers guy who's not a big strikeout guy. He's a pitch-to-contact guy. He gives up a ton of home runs as well. I like the Brewers here to score a few runs. Meanwhile, the Brewers are sending Joe Ross to the mound, and that's why I think the Marlins are going to be able to score a few runs on him, because he has a 4.61 ERA this year. He's gone 5 straight starts where he's given up at least 1 run, and we've also seen him when he's faced really good competition like the Yankees earlier last month. He gave up 6 earned runs in over 5 innings to go with 1 home run. Against the Pirates in his last start, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, and again, a home run. He's literally given up a home run in 4 of his last 5 starts, which again is another point of concern for me here. So for me, I think there's just going to be a lot of offense here, and if you've been worried about the Marlins offense, which you should be, they started off the year slow. They've been starting to pick up it a little bit. Their bats got hot over the weekend. We've seen them over the weekend average about 7 runs in their last series. So for me, I think that the bats of the Marlins maybe woke up a little bit in that series against the Mets. They should be able to score a few runs today off of Ross, and I think the Brewers are going to be able to score some off of Weathers. So give me the over 8 here for -115 odds in the Brewers and Marlins matchup for our first best bet of the day. For my second best bet of the day, we're going to go with a hitter parlay here, and I'm going to take one of the guys who are actually playing in this Marlins-Brewers matchup, and that's William Contreras, and I'm going to take him to get a hit. And I'm going to parlay that with Jose Altuve for him to get a hit at -104 odds. Now, William Contreras, he's somebody who's a DYF Bets All-Star. If you guys have been following us for the channel since dating back to last year, we always used to take him a lot in hitter parlay parlays, and there's a reason why we do that, because this dude is an absolute stud when it comes down to swinging that baseball bat, especially as a catcher. He's had at least one hit in 21 of the last 26 games, which is really impressive, which is why he's batting over 333 for the month of May, which you love to see. And actually yesterday he did not get a hit, which actually I like even more, because he has not gone a single game this year where he's gone back-to-back games without getting a hit. So because he didn't get a hit yesterday, I feel like today is going to be the best day for him to be able to bounce back, to get a hit. Also, Ryan Weathers, like I said, he's more of a pitch-to-contact guy. Even though his hits per 9 innings is down this year compared to his career average, we have seen him at times be able to give up a lot of contact. I think William Contreras, in the form that he's been in, is going to be able to rack up a hit today. So I'm not overthinking it. Go with the guy who's been batting over 300 over the last month. Go with the guy who's been on a crazy hitting streak, and I'm going to go with William Contreras to get one hit. Now, speaking of hitting streaks, that's what Jose Altuve is currently doing. Right now, he's on a 7-day hit streak, and for me, I want to be able to continue to tail that. He's had at least one hit in 10 of the last 11 games, and now he's facing Reed Detmers, who's on the mound for the Angels, who's got an 8.94 hit per 9 innings, which is the most for Detmers since his rookie season. So for me, the form that Detmers is in is not too good. Altuve's had success against Detmers in the past in 11 plate appearances. He has 4 hits, including 1 home run. That's good for a .364 batting average against Detmers. So I'm not going to overthink it. I think Altuve is going to be able to get a hit because of the form that he's been in. William Contreras is going to be able to get a hit. Parlay those two together, get you about -104, -105 odds there as our second best bet of the day. Now, for our third and final best bet of the day, we're going to go with a little money line parlay here. 2 teams that should get it done here on this Monday slate, and we're going to go with the Astros on the money line. We're parlaying that with the Braves on the money line. Now, keep in mind, the Braves are playing a doubleheader today, so this is the Braves in Game 2, not Game 1, Game 2. If you parlay those two together, you get to +115 odds. Now, both of these teams are big favorites today, but rightfully so. If we break down the first game between the Astros and the Angels, I am going to tail with the Astros here because Framber Valdez is on the mound for the Astros, 3-1 on the year, 2.95 ERA. You love to see that. And he's coming off a very impressive start against the Athletics where he went 7 innings, no runs given up to go with 8 strikeouts and only 2 hits allowed. You love to see that. And the start before that against the Tigers on the road, another 7 innings, only 2 earned runs given up, go with 6 hits, and which was a 5-2 win for the Astros. So for me, Framber Valdez is starting to find the form a little bit, 3-1 on the year, 2.95 ERA. You love to see that. And now he's facing Reed Detmers, who I just kind of told you guys how many hits he's given up per 9 innings. Yeah, I told you kind of the form that he's been in, 5.19 ERA. That's not something that I'm very eager to get behind, a guy like that who's given up that amount of contact, that amount of runs. He's just not been in good form. In his last start against the Cardinals, 8 hits, 5 earned runs to go with 5 innings. His start before that against the Royals, 5 innings, another 6 earned runs to go with 2 home runs and 7 hits. You hate to see that. In his last 5 starts, the Angels have lost all 5 of those games. So for me, now they're facing a very good Astros team with a really good pitcher on the bump on the road. I'm taking the Astros on the money line. Now, meanwhile, the Braves here are playing a doubleheader because they had one of their games rained out early in this series against the Padres. And I'm going to take the Braves in Game 2. This is a 6:20 start Eastern time for the Braves against the Padres. And Chris Sale is on the mound for the Braves, and he's been absolutely amazing this year so far for the Braves. 6-1 on the year, which is tied for the 3rd best in the National League with a 2.54 ERA. That's absolutely amazing. We've seen him in back-to-back starts against the Cubs and the Red Sox. Both of those games were at home where he went a combined 15 innings, gave up a combined 8 hits to go with no runs and 19 combined strikeouts over those last 2 games. That is what I'm looking for. That is the form that I want to back. He's taking on Randy Vasquez for the Padres, and I really just can't get down with Vasquez here. He's got 6.32 ERA. He's coming off a game against the Rockies where he didn't even make it out of the 4th inning, and he gave up 5 earned runs to go with no strikeouts and 8 hits. You hate to see that. In his last 4 starts, and the only 4 starts that he's had this year for the Padres have not had any wins in any of his starts. So for me, it's just really hard for me to back that. And I also think that the Padres could win Game 1 of this doubleheader with Dylan Cease on the mound. So I feel like that could be like a consolation for them. Like, okay, we won Game 1. We're cool with losing Game 2 because of how good Chris Sale has been and because of who we have on the mound. It's going to be very hard for me to back the Padres here, especially with the form that Chris Sale's been in. So give me the Braves in Game 2, and then also give me the Astros on the money line as our 3rd and final best bet of the day. Well, that's it for me today, my friends. 3 best bets, 3 winners that are headed your way on this Monday baseball card for you guys. Give me the Astros and the Braves second game on the money line for the parlay there. Also, give me the over in the Brewers and the Marlins, and then give me the 2 and then give me the hit parlay with Jose Altuve, William Contreras, both to get a hit there. All these picks are pretty good odd value, so you can't be too mad at it. I might have a few other player props, maybe a Nerfy or a few innings that I'm going to play throughout the day. If you want those, click the link in the description, join the free Discord group, and I got y'all. All right, my friends, appreciate all the love and support that you continue to show on the channel. Let's have a day, let's cash in, let's get that bread, and I'll see you on tomorrow's video. Later, gang.